Hey everyone, welcome back. Death Spider here. So we're going to get started on episode 3. So like I said, we're going for Grayson the Armorer to get us some of the whetstones that we need to build the grinder. Looting the camp, once we get here, we've already gotten some cloth, coarse thread, coins, and 4 whetstones. So we're in pretty good shape. We found 1 book too. So like always, just run through here, smash all the crates. You'll get all kinds of loot. Make sure you search the chests. There are a lot of ads here, so be careful. If you get in here and you get in trouble, you can find these armor racks. Just grab one of those to equip armor, and then you can run out without taking damage because you'll be invulnerable, but you can't attack. So with that, Grayson the Armorer is located up on the top of this little area that we're in. So here's our castle. The label for Farbane Woods, he's located right above the A and the R if you're zoomed all the way out. Otherwise, he's right above this waygate on this square plateau. Go in here and see about winning this fight. Maybe a little bit more difficult fight than what we've been having just because he's the same level as us. He's got some different kinds of moves, so let's go and get started.
But you'll do.
Alright, so he throws his axes, so you gotta watch out for that. I'm not sure if he charges with his swing.
I've got the tool for the job.
Oh yeah, I forgot he throws these spikes out, so watch out for those. I don't remember if they trap us or they just do damage to us. Oh, I guess it bounces us to him and slows us. Still not that big of a deal. We'll just keep tagging him from a distance if we have to. Dodge all of his slow moves.
I've got the tool for the job.
Oh, so that pulls us in. Okay. Then we're gonna grab these health orbs just to keep alive. Get rid of the ads. Alright, so we took him down with that last shot, and the ads dropped with him, so we had to feed on him.
Easily.
I feel stronger.
And then we got some loot. We have the Thirsting Prism. We'll take that. Merciless Night Stalker Vest book. That's going to have, so we get our armor upgraded some more. Unsullied Heart. And again, look around here. We can smash all this stuff. Maybe get a little extra loot as we go. Make sure we grab these crates. Definitely not a bad idea to get some of these whetstones. You definitely want to get the cloth too. Simple garden planters. So another book, more recipes. Always good to have. Because I feel like we're getting less pages than what we used to get. But it could just be because we're not on a multiplayer server doing PvP anymore. So maybe loot's more scarce when you're solo playing. I did notice when I turned the server back on today that there's like a lot of lag, so I think it takes a minute to catch up. So when you're in this camp too, you can free these prisoners if you want, or you can feed on them. It's not really worth it. That one's only a worker 1%. Once you start collecting people, you want to get their percentages as high as possible so that you can collect blood from them. And that way your fights go a lot easier. Let's see what this guy is. Worker at 8%. Again, not great. And from there, we'll just head back, drop off our loot. We can probably kill some of these guys, try to get some extra pages. A little extra blood never hurt. Okay, everyone, so now that we're back at the base, it's nighttime again. So if we come to the furnace, you can see here, we now have the recipe to make whetstones. It takes 12 stone dust, 1 copper ingot to get 2 whetstones. So like I said, we'll unlock recipes as we go. From there, we needed to build the grinding wheel for stone. I know I've got the stone crate set up here, but I think we're going to actually set it down here in this corner for now. So we'll grab the grinder. It's going to take 8 planks, 4 copper ingots, and 4 whetstones. We actually probably will go ahead and build 2 of these. The reason being, we need a lot of stone. So we get those set up. Let's go ahead and grab our stone from our crate. So we'll just do a take all. We need to move this stuff anyways. And we'll press B. We'll grab the larger crate and go ahead and move it out here. And then we'll come to our grinders, and you can see the recipe now to get brick, which is what we need to build the walls. It's going to take 12 pieces of stone. It's going to also produce 1 stone dust when we make it. Same thing with gems. That we can turn those into gem dust if we need it. If we have clay plus brick, we can get stone body, which we have a lot of clay. We've got 328 pieces. Finding that a lot in chests. Let's go ahead and add some stone to this one, and then we'll add some stone to the other one. Make sure they're both working because it takes a while. From here, we can also go ahead and take out all of our recipes and see what we can learn. So we'll go to the research desk. So now we can unlock the Merciless Night Stalker Vest. We can get the workshop walls, simple garden planters. And I think that's it, but we also have 50 pieces of paper now. So if we hit discover at the top, it'll give us a random. It can be structures, weapons, magic, any of these. It'll just randomly unlock it, so hit discover, and we just got an assortment of windows. I preferred armor or weapons, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. From there, we need to track the next guy on our list, so we'll press K. Let's see, we'll go ahead and scroll up. I'm not sure why these are all showing up to you. I think it's because of the update that just hit. Grace the Armor also gave us the ability Phantom Aegis. Apply a shield to target ally or self that shields the target for 200% of your spell power. Inflicts weaken on nearby enemies and grants Phantasm for each enemy hit. We're not going to use that. Not worried about it. So we're going to go over to Gore Swine. Or Swine. This guy's going to be a little bit tougher than the last fight, so let's go ahead and track his blood. He's also going to take us to the grave dust, which we're going to need some of that. I don't think we have anything new that we can build just yet. We could build the vermin nest. We don't really need that. You will need that if you want to spawn the pestilence boss, the rat boss guy. But I want to get stone walls before we worry and have to deal with any of that. Under crafting, we have the simple workbench and the woodworking workbench, which we've already laid down. Sorry, all this stuff's like flashing ever since the update hit. As far as our storage crates go, the vampire lockbox, that's where you can secure your items so enemy players can't steal it. So it's good to build one of those and keep extra sets of armor in, or anything that you really care about. Besides that, I think everything else is mostly just decorative. Now, you can grow flowers and stuff if you have the seeds, and harvest them as you go. See, we have lighting, which looks cool, just makes your castle look nicer. Same thing with decorations. We'll get into all the decorations and stuff once we actually have like resources to spare. So I'm gonna run across the map, head over to the next boss, and then we'll get to it from there. We should be right here at the graveyard. I believe it's gonna be located right here in the desecrated graveyard, so you can see that we can get morning lily, grave dust, and bones here. So it's all good stuff to have. It took me a minute to get here. We've been hitting every gem rock that we walk by. Gathering all the copper and some sulfur. The sulfur are the yellow rocks, so it looks like the copper except yellow. And so we're going to run into here. There's a lot of stuff you can smash and destroy. Lots of priests and things we want to kill before we fight the actual boss himself. So I'm going to knock these guys out. You can knock defenses and stuff down to get them out of your way if you want to. So as you can see, these little necromancer guys will summon skeletons. So tons of ads. So get used to that. Now one thing I did want to cover too, now that we have copper weapons, we actually can get a special ability that we can use. So with the mace, and it changes per weapon type, we can use that slam move I just used right there. Now you can sit there and fight these guys all day, but the best thing to do is aim for the mages, obviously. Or it's just been a never-ending fight. And then the zombie guys right here, they get back up after you down them once, so watch out for that. And make sure you bring back all the grave dust you find. It's gonna come. It's really gonna be good to have a lot of that. And these little blue flowers you see dripping here, these are the morning lilies. So smash those. You're gonna need some of them. I don't remember exactly for what. I just know we need them. Then you can loot these containers. So we'll do a take all there. More grave dust, more bones, more lilies. Yep, and you watch this guy. He'll get back up. Once he's back up, then you can kill him again. And if we want to, we can swap to our axes. That also gives us another special ability, where we do like a big slash attack. That's probably more useful here than our smashing attack, just because of the AoE. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this out. You can see Gorswine the Ravager, he's up here. Anything that's special will say V-Blood below the name. As long as they're like yellow, you should be fine. Watch out for like the patrolling guys like Tristan the Vampire Slayer. He will, that guy will wreck you. And there's a couple others like him that are specialty mobs. They kind of wander around everywhere. They're not everywhere, but their zones that they patrol are pretty wide. So you're gonna want to watch out for that. They will one-shot you and probably still 2 or 3 shot you when you're back close to being maxed out. Okay, before we get the fight started, one thing you do want to be aware of is undead. They have one thing that they really do that's bad for us. They don't have blood, so we can't feed off of them. So as you can see now, we're running pretty low on blood. So the thing to do here is to go ahead and activate our blood mend, get to full hit points, and then we're going to want to run around and find somebody. Like, yeah, we're out of blood already, so go after this guy right here. And I killed him before we harvested him. But run around, find you some kind of animal or a person that's patrolling, and get you some blood just to get your stats up at least a little bit. It'll help a lot, and it'll keep you from doing like we're doing right now, where our stats are going to go so low that we'll pretty much be killed by anything. There is one trick we can use too, just to get our hit points above 1 hit point. We can consume some of the rats we got from the graveyard. So just right click on it, it'll give us a little bit of blood back. That way we can recover some of our hit points. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a boost from that. So while we regenerate, I'm just going to harvest up some rocks. Okay, so now that we've got some blood, I don't like the blood. It's just creature blood, so it's not that great unless we had a little bit more on the percentage. With that though, let's go ahead and try to jump on this guy. He's going to teleport around. He's got some AoE moves, so we're going to have to be careful. I think he can poison us too. So we're going to do our best to avoid that, try to stay alive. Then I'm trying to think if we want to swap any spells out or not. Now we'll go with what we have, see what happens. So let's go ahead and hit him with a fireball from a distance.
Come get a taste of these maps.
Do our AoE moves. Okay, there it is. So it's like a timed bomb, and that's poison. You don't want to stand inside of that. Tons of ads, always fun, right? Plus he has ranged attacks. So we need to kill the necromancers around him. I can't remember if he summons more or not, but we'll go ahead and try to wipe them out. Pop healing potions if you need to. Make sure you've got some made. I always try to reserve my fireball spell for him personally, but you know, sometimes I miss. And you can regenerate off that spell too if you time it just right, where you hit all the mobs and then you AoE hit them. They should give you a pretty decent amount of hit points back. But using that's a good way to thin the herd. I guess I should hit them while they're all glowing. Then I get we're getting a lot of hit points already. Alright guys, and there he goes. Like I said, we just cut it all this around. We still have to clean it up. My hit points are pretty low though. And one false move and all those necromancers will hit us at once. So what we can do is actually zone them out. That might be the smart thing to do since we have so many. So let's see if that'll work, if we can just zone them out. If that'll not make him have issues too though. Because he might also despawn if we go too far. Alright, well he's still on the ground. I don't know if we have enough hit points to extract his blood. We'll give it a go. Okay, so on a boss we can still extract blood without taking damage. That's good to know. And then we got the Merciless Copper Spear, so that's some good loot. From here, I guess we can clean this up, or try to. Or not, because it looks like we might die. So I'm going to grab more of this loot really quick. Hopefully they don't keep picking me off. The way I did this was pretty long. The best way is probably to just come in, bait out all the ads, kill them as fast as you can, and then run back in. Definitely don't get trapped in a corner. It'll be the end of the world for you. We'll have to run back to base because you can't teleport with certain items, and we have a lot of ore and stuff on us that we can't teleport with. So we killed Gorswine the Ravager. The way we did it took a pretty long time. It's easier too if you have friends, in my opinion, because you can have one guy kill the ads, one guy focus on Gore. Makes it really fast. Or you both just jump Gore and he dies relatively quick. I do think, if I remember right, I don't know if it still happens or not, I want to say they scale based on the amount of people in the area. So bosses do get a little bit harder if there's more people around them. At least that's how it used to work. From there, so now we can summon ghouls, skeletons if we build the tomb. We can also build nocturne fences. And then we get the recipe for the Gravedigger ring, which increases our spell power by +9. And we have the recipe to make grave dust and the spell bone explosion. So we're going to hit back on that. Those are our 2 level 27 bosses knocked out. Level 30, we have Clav the Firestarter, Lydia the Chaos Archer, and Putrid Rat. We're not really worried about Putrid Rat right now. If you're on a PvP server, he's actually pretty good to get. So like I said, we'll go over how to get him here once we get to him. But the next one we want to fight, if I'm not mistaken, Alchemy Table will be good, really good to have right now. And we're going to need the Minor Explosives box, so we'll have to fight this guy before we can advance. And then Lydia the Chaos Archer, she's going to give us the Devourer. It's a good way to get rid of stuff you don't want, so we'll take off our old gear that we're not going to use ever again, put it in there, it'll eat it, and we'll get materials back. We also get the leather working station, so we can turn that into bags and other items. And like I said, we're going to go after her next though too, because the spell she has is one, I don't know if they nerfed it or not, but it used to be super strong. So we're going to go grab that spell off of her. She's not a bad fight. She also drops small bags. Go extract the blood. She's one of the V-Bloods that walks around on the road. So while you're trying to track her down, be careful because you can run into a few other friendlies. I do want to make some more of our vermin salve just in case we take some more damage. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to Lydia. As you can see, she's leaving a trail of bodies behind her. She'll kill pretty much anything she runs across for the most part. It looks like she's in front of us in a fight already. And she has some poachers with her, so that's going to be fun. So we'll try to jump on them, make sure there's nothing too close to add on with them. Go and get us a free hit in.
Well, you maybe.
And she's going to rapid fire, so just dodge that. Probably best to finish off the ads so they don't grab us by mistake. And besides her moving around a lot, she's actually one of the easiest fights. We definitely don't want to get hit by her, especially this poacher snatches with his net. So we're going to take him out. So she just used invisibility. You can still see her just like last time with the ice archer.
Think on your feet.
So now you're going to want to save your dodge for when she uses that move. And she's down. So like I said, pretty easy fight even with copper weapons. So we're going to extract our blood.
New knowledge acquired.
And with that, we have the new spell, so let's go ahead and equip that because it's one of the ones I used to like using a lot. So it's going to be here under Chaos Magic. It's going to be the Chaos Volley. So it launches 2 Chaos Bolts in a sequence that deal 110% magic damage and inflicts Ignite. So we're going to replace our other long-range weapon with that and keep our shield one available just in case we get stuck in a net or some other kind of slowed movement speed. And from there, we can head back to base. We can build the Devourer to recycle old gear, and the leather working station. We should have enough planks and leather by now. We can also make some bags. From there, let's back up, and the next one we're going to want to track down is going to be Clive, the fire starter. Again, he's going to let us build the alchemy table so we can get into more advanced potions. So I think we're at about a good place to start ending the episode, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and do our next quest and build us a room. So we're going to go to the grinder. I've had these working the whole time, so let's add some more stone to it, take the brick out. We can grab the stone too and go ahead and store that, or the stone dust. Open this up. This is where I've been storing all of our type stone, clay, bricks. So we're going to grab all the bricks that we have made. We need to get all the lumber together too. So these items you want to keep running as much as you can because you're going to need a ton of this material for a little while. And then we're going to need some blood essence because walls and floors take blood essence. So we need to grab it off of the fountain. Let's go ahead and toggle this off so we quit burning through all of our bones. Grab what we have stored here. And I'm going to start on the front of the base. Now if you're doing PvP, you might want to leave the front of your base looking basic, like you're a noob and you just started. A lot of people won't attack you as much then. You do need to get your walls and your castle expanded as much as you can. People will be able to eventually jump up. There are different ways. I don't want to cover them all right now until we get to them, but there's different ways to get into people's bases and castles. So what we're going to do is we'll press B as in Bravo to open the build menu. Hold down space and we can go ahead and delete some of this stuff. It'll give us our materials back. You have to do it in a certain order, so do the wall first, then you can do the pillars. And we're going to change the look up eventually. We'll add windows, really nice looking doors. We'll keep the, let's see, I guess we can keep the basic stuff here on the front for now. We can also rip up the flooring and add different kind of flooring. So I went ahead and cut down these trees and re-cleared this area. So let's go ahead and move this flooring out of the way because I want to change it out. And then of course we'll have to get that chest off of there, move these if we want to change this up. So from there we'll go to our floors, our foundations. And here you can pick out different types. So we can do workshop floors. This will give us the bonuses to workshops. Same thing with the long boards. Applies bonuses to workshop structures. I want to say certain ones prefer certain kinds, but it's been a while since I've advanced that far. So let's see, confined in the castle room has matching floor. Alright, so this one doesn't care because we're going to move these two and see if we want to make the cost a little cheaper, or at least speed them up some. So we'll just do the work boards for now. I think that'll be a big enough space, so let's go ahead and see about adding in some walls.
This will not work.
We're going to move these over, just left click on them, and then we'll rotate them into position wherever we want them at. So we're going to set them there for now. Grab the crate, we'll move it here. And then let's see if we can delete this. Hopefully the wall's not in the way. So that should count as a workshop. I think we'll expand it out one more. Is that gonna, let's see, is that gonna work for us? Let's see if we can't put a door right here. And then we can use any kind of door we want. We're gonna use the new Plague Sanctum gates. So there's two of them. We have the purple one, which has a servant lock on it. We're not worried about that just yet, so we'll just use a regular one here. And as you can see, there's now a roof over this, so we shouldn't take any more sun damage inside of here. And it's a confined space, so it checked off our quest. So let's see if our grinders are now having bonuses. So now they have both bonuses. So in the confined castle room, plus 25% speed. Has matching floor, minus 25% cost. So the stone cost is cheaper to make brick now. Let's go ahead and claim our quest and see what we get. Technology unlocked, Castle Waygate. I believe that is going to allow us to teleport. So we need to construct and interact with the Castle Waygate. Let's come into here and figure out where that's going to be at. I'm assuming under production dominance, maybe? No? Teleporters. Alright, so the Castle Waygate, we need 20 gem dust, 100 blood essence, 12 stone brick, and 4 grave dust. Right, so we'll use some regular castle flooring here. Let's see what we want to use. We have ebonite floor, square pattern, plague sanctum tiles. I guess we'll go with that. That should be the new. And we'll just build us a little path this way. I don't know if this needs to be on a floor or not, so find out. It looks like it wants to not be on flooring, so we can just pretty much put this where we want. So we'll set it here in between all these rocks for now. And we now have the castle waygate, so hold F to teleport. Can't do it because of the items we have on us, but we interacted with it, so now we can claim that quest.
Yet another accomplishment.
And we unlock this stone coffin, so we can try to build one of those if we have the materials. It's under dominance. Stone coffins, a place to recover when defeated. There's multiple styles, and they each cost the same thing. So grave dust, crude amethyst, and stone brick. So the royal coffin is part of the expansion pack. Same thing with the plague chemist cask. So let's see if we have the crude amethyst that we need. Alright, so it wants us to build a stone coffin. I don't know if it'll count if we build one of the other ones. So we'll just place one of these for now, then we'll destroy it, get our materials back. And we can claim that. Technology unlocked servant coffin. Construct and interact with a servant coffin. So with the servant coffins, it allows us to dominate humans that we find. We can currently have 5 of them. It's based on our castle heart level. And for this, we need 8 copper ingot and a greater blood essence. So if you want a greater blood essence, you're going to need to use your blood press, which I kind of need to flip this one around. For that, we can come in here and see. So for greater blood essence, we're going to need 200 regular blood essence to make that. And I think there's another recipe right here. So unsullied hearts, 4 of those will give us one too. We'll grab some unsullied hearts, put them in here. It'll craft over time. And that's going to allow us to put down some more of those coffins. That's going to take a while. I'm going to go ahead and off camera, go ahead and tear apart the base. Rebuild it with stone walls, get some nice flooring put in, probably replace these front gates. Like everything should look a lot nicer. Now when you're doing this, be really careful. If you're playing on a PvP server, you're going to want to make sure that if you're debuilding your front gates, that you're either putting them back up really fast, or that you have multi-layers, so that if somebody comes in, they can't just, like, they'll take rat form or something, sneak into your base, and just rob you blind. Alright, so to clean up this front ramp too, to make it look nicer, we're going to actually add some stairs in. Stairs are also the way you can build multi-level castle. They do take up tile limits, so we're going to see if we can't place one here. I actually want to put down the Plague Sanctum stairs. I keep saying that we've reached the limit on these. So I don't know how many of these take up. Because the number in the bottom corner means that we should have enough material to build 7. Can I build the regular stone ones? No. I mean, I could knock out, I guess, this whole back row and see what happens. So we're currently at 85 out of 100. Let's see if it'll let us place one down now. Alright, so I'm assuming it takes up about 4 to 8. So that's how many we lose. So we went from 85 to 93. So yeah, it takes 8 to build one staircase. But as you can see, it looks a lot nicer than just running up the dirt. From there, we need to get our walls put in and rebuild our gate. So we'll probably just do double gate right here on the front. So we'll need to do the castle entrance. And I guess if we can put up the royal gate, just so y'all can see the difference and the way they look. Now again, the servant lock gates means that your servants won't open or close those doors. Any other doors, they'll go through whenever they feel like. So those are the royal gate. Again, that's part of the DLC pack. And we're going to start cooking because the sun's out. There, we can add on windows if we want to. We can add on regular walls. We can't get rid of this rock here, this blue rock. That is a iron rock. We don't have strong enough weapons for that just yet, so we can't do anything with this corner. So I'm going to save the last of our tile pieces to fill that in. But for now, we'll just build around it. So I've gone ahead and finished building out all the walls around our current maximum allowed amount of space for our flooring. If you're doing PvP server, because I know a lot of people like to play with their friends that play online, they don't have their own servers, they don't want to rent their own servers, or you financially can't afford to, which I get because I'd love to have my own server to play games on, but I still don't. Anyways, so if you're doing this and you have a staircase, so you can see we have 2 doors up here, right? So what you're going to want to do if you're on a PvP server is make sure that you add castle entrance doors to the bottom here, like this. I'm not going to put doors on these, but if you're doing PvP, add doors there. That way that's another layer of protection to help keep the enemies out of your castle, because they will get in. Even, like, you can make a maze. That's what we used to do back in the day when they first released the game. We made a maze. We made a honeycomb. You'd have to, like, every square would be a wall. And then you'd come to a big area. It'd be nothing but servants. They'd fight you. It still wasn't enough. They did make a lot of changes for that. I think they made it to where you, on your second floor is probably where you're going to do your production and storage. And then here on the first floor, you're going to want to build traps and have servants ready to go. But as you can see right now, we can build another castle heart later on. It'll allow us to expand out. We're probably going to use it to actually move locations. So we're more in the center of the map. It doesn't really matter because you can teleport most places. So we might just stay here and put the other heart here and claim this land plot. because as you can see, as you hover over these, that's pretty much what you're going to claim. A lot of the bigger guys, because you're going to notice people form guilds, so you can make it like a clan. So if you press P as in pop-up, you can make it your own clan. I want to say it's limited to 4 players. So you can create your own, you can add your own people, you can build together, friendly fire off, private chat channel. It's just the benefits of having a clan. But a lot of people, what they do is they'll form a clan, they'll have like 4 people per castle, and you go to fight them, destroy their castle, and they might show up 16, 20 deep, especially if you're playing on a private server. Or even if it's a hosted server, some clans just take those over if it's owned by Vrising themselves. And they do have public servers, and the problem with private servers and the public servers, a lot of them reset constantly so that you can, just play over and over again. So like I said, get in the Discords, get in the forums, make friends, join up with people that play, like maybe 2 of you play Central Time, and then, I don't know, 2 of you are from Asia or Europe or somewhere else where you constantly have somebody online, because you're going to get attacked by golems, or they're going to get golem special abilities where they can get to your castle and try to destroy it, and if you're not there to defend it, they're going to have a pretty easy time of it. So besides that, we went ahead, we rebuilt our coffin, so now we have the new coffin. On top of that, we ripped the floor. We had to tear down a few of the walls, and then we put down the wood flooring for the workshop in here. So now our sawmills, and we built another sawmill, so now they're boosted, so it's 25% faster with 25% less cost. So instead of 20 wood per plank, it's 15, and it's a little bit quicker, which is nice because we need that to keep building walls. And then we walled in this entire space. Okay, a good thing too right here, Blood Moon, that's perfect to go over a note. So Blood Moon boosts your stats, it makes you stronger. So while Blood Moon's on, that's a good time to go fight any boss you might be struggling with. So just teleport over there, go fight them real fast, and make life a lot easier. Besides that, we added a back door here so we can get out to our teleport. Eventually, we'll probably build some gardens or something out here. And we might build up on the step behind us. And we'll probably add a door somewhere over here, some more workshops. We definitely want to get our crafting benches walled into their own private room. So we might do that over here because that's pretty good space here. So we can put all the workbenches in here, put a wall across the front, maybe a door or 2. And then we need to get our smelter because ore is really expensive. We also need to gather quartz to get glass, because right now to upgrade to our next castle heart we need glass, which we've been finding glass by smashing crates and looting chests as we come across them. And we'll upgrade this, we'll get some more floor pieces. So we need 24 glass, 8 reinforced planks, and 1 greater blood essence, which we can make all of that right now. It's no big deal, we actually have enough materials for it. But we'll go over quartz probably maybe on the next episode. Between now and then, I'm going to go ahead and move our smelter, maybe build another 1 or 2 of those. I think we're going to stuff them in this corner over here for now, and then we'll get rip these floors out. We might have to tear the walls down to rip the floors out, and then put down crafting floors there, crafting floors here, and that way it'll just save us time and money, our resources. Get those things built. We do need to build a few more things in the production area. So we've got the tannery, we can build the devourer, we need copper ingots for that. I guess I could build that really fast. The tomb, personally, I advise holding off on that for a while. It's not essential. Same thing with the vermin nest, like hold off on those. You're gonna want to build those kind of outside, away from, like, because they can spawn enough mobs that it can actually lock your game up. So you gotta be really, really careful with those. So let's see, we'll grab some copper since we have some extra planks on us. We'll go ahead and build us the devourer. The furnace needs copper ore. We'll have to get more of that. I smelted all of it, and it needs a lot of stone, which I've turned all that into brick. We could make the leather working station, so we'll grab some leather with the copper. I would like to get some more big stashes, so I'll add those to each one of the crafting rooms next, at least 1 per bench. And there are better storages that we'll get later on once we fight more bosses. And then we'll get to work on making some of these servant coffins. I'm not worried about that right just yet, because we're not going to find any good ones in the area that we're currently in, though they can help you gather materials and defend your base if you're on a PvP server. If you're looking for glass, this is what glass looks like. Obviously we've got whetstone, glass, and then this is wool thread. Make sure you save all of your wool thread. You're going to need a ton of it, especially on PvP, again. So we'll leave the benches here, and like I said, we'll try to, let me find some copper wherever I stashed it at. Once you get quartz, it's this, I guess, I almost want to say diamond looking thing, but it looks like quartz. Kind of maybe like a diamond from Subnautica. The rocks look the same way. I already smashed a couple as I see them because we need a lot of it. And there's some places you can gather glass, but just not high enough level to do so yet. And then we need some leather off of our tannery, so we'll grab some leather from here. I've been making a ton of that and saving all of our coarse thread and everything. And from there, like I said, we'll end the episode right here. But first, let's go ahead and build these other stations I was talking about. So we need the leather working station. And we'll put it right here next to the tannery for now because we're going to be moving all of this. And then I said we build the devourer, we'll just set him here. And I can show you how that works because we have a chest somewhere. Let me find it. I've been moving everything around. And so we have all this reinforced bone stuff. If you're on a PvP server, you might want to save some of it. I'm not worried about it. We're single player, so it's no big deal. We're just going to take all this gear because it's trash gear. And we're going to throw it in this guy right here. He'll eat it. Let me zoom in so you can see this guy. He's pretty cool looking. So the devourer takes care of all your stuff for you. So we're going to put all that in here. He'll get to work taking care of it for you. So anything you don't want, don't need, put it there. You'll see, like right now, he's producing rugged hide. And you can do this with all kinds of materials. Now he's in a confined castle room, so anything we put in here is going to be faster just because this whole space is now confined. And that's pretty much what he does, is eats everything. So now we're getting back planks, we're getting back stone. It's just a good way not to waste material. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything else we need to cover. You can sleep, like always, if you want to in your coffin. Spacebar to wake up, you'll do the whole hover scene. And we're glowing again because of the blood moon. If you hover over this icon here at the bottom, it tells you what it does. Boosts the effects of your current blood type by 20% and increases your movement speed by 10%. So if you're using like 100%, I don't know, creature right here, you get 30%, you get 130% of your boost bonuses. And that's what we'll go over later once we get much later in the game. It's how to get to 100% blood. Pretty much you gotta have to find guys and you'll confine them and keep them alive in your prison. So it's a really cool game, a lot of depth, guys. I know it's kind of slow getting started like right now. Later on, the bosses get much harder. We'll probably die a few times. We'll go over how that works out. And getting your tombstones. I highly recommend this game to everybody. It's a lot of fun, a lot of depth, a lot of crafting, a lot of gathering, a lot of fighting, especially the PvP servers. If you have people to play with, especially 4 to 8 really, close friends, it's a ton of fun. Besides that, as always, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll get back to those as soon as I can. And thanks for watching.